Hey y'all, what's going on? It's Hunter Elliott here, rangehot.com. I'm doing a video today. I want to talk to you about something that's kind of different than what I'm used to talking about, and I really don't know how to put a title to it, but you never know when the words you say to somebody, you never know if they're going to be the last words that you ever speak to them. And I have two instances that I want to share with you. My Uncle Larry, whom you've seen in a couple of my videos, told me even when I was a youngin', if you love somebody, make sure you let them know. Make sure you tell them. So there's no question. A couple years ago, I had a good friend. His name was Matt. And you probably remember Matt from several of my videos. He's a big Viking looking guy, had a big red beard, big fella. He always come out here and shot with me. He had a gun collection. He knew guns. He was a good shot. So I was thankful to have him. There's Buster Snots, the cat here. We got a bunch of yard pumas out here at the house. I was thankful to have him, come along and shoot with me and help with the videos and give me his input on guns because he knew what he was talking about. Matt and I become pretty close. And Buster, calm down. Matt and I become pretty close. And I'd called him on a Friday night like I normally do because we were going to get together and film Saturday, and I was talking about what we're going to do, what we're going to film. And normally when I would hang up the phone, I seen Matt or hung up the phone with him, I'd always say, hey man, I love you, brother, because I'd come to look at Matt like a brother. Now he was pretty guarded with his feelings, and so he'd be like, hey Hunter, I appreciate that, or me too, or you know how it is, you know how guys are. And we'd spoke, and I'm like, well, look, man, it's getting on midnight, and I'm going to see you in the morning, so I love you, brother. And I remember Matt saying, I love you too, Hunter, I really do. And that made me feel good. And I was like, all right, man, I'll see you in the morning. And then his girlfriend calls me about the time they were supposed to leave, and she says, hey, Matt's not feeling well. He's sick. I don't know if we're going to make it today, and if we do, we're going to be late. I'm like, hey, it's no problem. No big deal. Just, look after Matt and make sure he's okay. And then she calls me a little bit later. She says, look, I don't want you to freak out. The ambulance is on the way. Matt was throwing up. He's throwing up blood. I was like, oh, my God. That's not good. She said, but he's going to the hospital right now. Figure out what's going on. And during the course of the day that we're talking and texting back and forth, it doesn't seem that big of a deal. She sends me a picture of Matt laid out in a gurney, give me the thumbs up. And he was feeling better. So I get a text from him. She said, hey, they can't quite figure out what's going on with Matt, but they're going to keep him overnight. So we're not going to be by, obviously. And I'm like, it's totally fine. It's no big deal. We're worried about Matt. And about an hour or so later, she calls me. She goes, Matt's dead. It's like, that can't be right. But obviously it was. He had died. They had found something wrong with his heart. And they got him on the operating table, and they was literally getting ready to operate on him, and he died. And man, it was terrible. I mean, this was a few years ago, and I mean, I miss him today like I did back then. His passing left a void in my life. It truly did. But the one shining star, if you will, is my last words to Matt were, hey, I love you, brother. And his last words to me were, man, I love you too, Hunter. I really do. And so that's something. And then another friend of mine, Roger Pettit, whom y'all have seen in my videos, he was a fine firearms instructor, and I met him. I was teaching with him, and he wound up helping me with gun reviews. And he passed recently, and I talked to Roger. Every couple weeks I talked to him, or we would text back and forth, and my last words to him were, hey man, take care of yourself, be safe. And then I get a text from a mutual friend one day out of the blue, Pettit's dead. I couldn't believe it. And I know, man, this is life. Life happens. But my whole point is, if you love somebody, make sure they know. And when you're speaking to somebody, understand that the words you're saying to them, there's a chance that those may very well be the last words you ever speak to them. So, make it count. Matt and Roger passing were both completely unexpected. Completely unexpected. so that you don't really have any time to prepare. So just, if you love somebody, man, let them know. Make sure you tell them. And I know it's, oh, I don't like to say that, or I don't, but hey, I think back of my last words with Matt and Roger, and that I do have a degree of comfort in knowing that they were pleasant, and I expressed to them that, I thought a lot of them. I considered them family, and I loved them. So there is something for that, even if you're just going to be selfish about it and have that to take back with you from them dying. So anyway, I'm not trying to be morbid, but I appreciate all the support that y'all give me with reading the articles on rangehot.com, and I appreciate all the watching my videos. And so, these are little life lessons that I've had come upon me, and I thought that, in between the gun reviews, it might not be a bad idea to share some of this with y'all. Anyway, I appreciate your time, man. Y'all take care of yourselves and each other, and please think about what I said.